Welcome to a cinematic tour of Yosemite Valley Zoo, my biggest project I've ever had on this channel. Over 3 years of work, over 1,000 hours that went into creating this zoo, countless hours of fighting the path tool, countless hours of live streaming and changing, refurbishing habitats, using mods, kicking mods, changing buildings, kicking buildings. And now it's time to enjoy a fly through this absolutely beautiful space and place, and also, yeah, a place in my heart. Today's tour will be very laid back. We're going to, go a bit into the nostalgia way, and we're going to have a look at this park, starting with the red panda over here. But I'm not going to go into detail of all the animals. Most of you will know this project, and if you don't, there's a good chance you should watch episode 1 now and come back in a year, I guess, after you've watched 100 episodes plus. Yeah, we are going to fly through here. It's all a bit sped up because you know that the performance wasn't too well at the end, but I think it's beautiful. It's turning out absolutely amazing, and I didn't want to make it too long because it's a crazy big zoo. But we're starting here with a bit of a flyover in the natural area. This is the bison plains over here. In fact, the bisons are all in their little hut right now. I'm not sure why. Actually, a couple of animals haven't been in place here. That mostly is because, this park has been worked on for so long, and maybe there were some issues I have never fixed. Potentially that's the reason, but maybe they are also just dead. I don't know, could also be. But yeah, flying over here into an area which, unfortunately, I still couldn't change. We've got our tortoises here on the left hand side. That's nice, but this over here is our aviary area, where we had the idea that once we get birds in, we've got this playground, and on the other hand side there could be a bird show, a predator bird show, but yeah, we never get birds, so even 3.5 years in, we can't change this implied area into a real area, and it still remains implied, I guess. Flying over to the name-giving building of Yosemite maybe, and the vista over here, that is a half dome in front of half dome. And yeah, this building over here looks fantastic. Still is one of my best videos on the channel when it comes to the habitats. Flying through 2 of the bridges, they are relatively new. We changed this area entirely. This used to be the spot where the chimpanzee house was. Now we do have the Amur leopard in its wonderful hilly habitat in here, with a lot of security fencing. There you can see the leopards coming down the incline. Very happy also with the staircase over here with the little switchback track to get people up the hill, where they can actually have a look at the Siberian tiger. And this entire spot over here is our big cat area. We're going to end this tour with the big cat area again. So before we will go deep into the big cat area, we will now fly over in, well, maybe one of the fan favorites, and that is the night house. So we are approaching the night house right now, and this one was, I guess, 2-3 years ago when I built this. We didn't have that many nocturnal animals, and so I needed to improvise quite a bit. And as we got more, I actually enlarged the building on the right hand side over here. So this is the connection into the newer part, and this is where the South American nocturnal animals come in, something like the anteater you'll see in a second, and also the tapir. So very, very cool area. In the middle there's also, I think there was a frog in there. And then at the end we are going to fly over here to the art walk on the right hand side, which is spending its time in this wonderful habitat. Really love it. It's super nice. We also have this kind of desert critters area here on the left hand side. A bit implied because I wasn't the biggest fan of these small exhibits, as you know. So I, acted as if they were bigger, in fact, and connected them together as if this was one big one where we had some deserty nocturnal animals in. Yeah, flying rather quickly here to, one of the best stories, I guess, about this park. This was a very early build of a penguin habitat. You can still see the Humboldt penguin sign I made there. This was way before we got the aquatic pack, and I remember when they introduced the penguins, it didn't work exactly as it should, but then they added the African penguin, and that went in 100% perfectly fine. That was absolutely amazing. Now we are approaching the area that I mostly changed to 100%. This has been completely different. This is where the camels used to be, and now we do have this insanely nice capybara habitat with these barrels and with the oranges and stuff, and I still love it. up it goes into the domes where we do have the pygmy hippos in, we've got the monitor lizards in, we also get obviously the orangutans in, as we may catch one or two, I don't know if they're in. Oh yeah, there are some climbing in here, very neat. Well, that was a struggle to build. Oh my god, that was such a struggle to build. And I still think it's not fully working anymore with all the changes Frontier have done over the years in climbing. Yeah, potentially that might have broken it. Speaking of, there's also the capuchin monkey habitat in here, which it still looks amazing, but performance-wise, it's horrible because they are like jumping and glitching everywhere. Whatever, just don't look there. But yeah. I think this is potentially the area that deserves more love, because I think it's one of the most beautiful spots in Yosemite. This little restaurant I built, very much like with the water wheel and stuff, and then on the opposite side we do have, I think for now it should be the platypus habitat, I forgot if it was, but also the viewing platforms we have over here, and then you've got the platypus there, and from there, you're just crossing over to the Jaguar River, or the Panther Creek, as I called it, because we do have a black panther here as well. Not sure if you can see it, but yeah. Then we are greeted by a moose in a second, I believe. It's not there though, but this is the moose area, in fact. And on the right-hand side, you can see this is another part of the Jaguar Creek. Very nice, it all ties together now, and it just really looks good. It's all very, you know, it's not like as if it's the perfect layout, but this used to be like a natural park, you know. It's not like a fully grown zoo in that sense. It's a natural park and a natural area turned into a zoo afterwards. And yeah, this is still one of the remainders. This is the grizzly bear project, in which the grizzly bears are reintroduced to the nature. They get their babies, then the babies are transferred to the first level, in which they can get used to the nature without having, you know, to deal with keepers and stuff like that. And once they get kids or older, they are reintroduced into phase 3, which then gives them access to the free world again. And so they're reintroduced in this area. We've got the sea lion habitat in this spot, which originally, fun fact, this has always been intended to be the sea lion habitat when I did an implied habitat of sea lions. But then the first diving animal that came with the aquatic pack was in fact the seal. So I turned that into a seal area. But as we got the sea lions, actually, I turned it back into a sea lion habitat. And now it is a sea lion habitat, what it always was meant to be. But it's the perfect one now, and I love it, and it's looking absolutely fantastic. It has the perfect mix between the classic kind of showcase thingies and also a very natural one in the backside. Then we've got our aquatic house, which, yeah, always hoped that we will get full marine stuff. We never got, so I needed to get creative. There's this wonderful skeleton of a whale on top. Then we've got the actual seals. They moved in here now, so they are living in here. We've got some fake little aquariums with the usage of screens, the billboards we got along the side. So it's really just like a little fly-through history, I guess, of this game. You can really tell that with the time we were going on, more and more things came to the game that made it better and better. And this is also why Sicily obviously is Sicily is so much better. But yeah, you can see now Heart of Africa still love this sign. We do have our wonderful fennec foxes over here. Look at them just walking by. We do have this cool meerkat habitat, another implied habitat that worked out to be nice in the end. Don't mind the people glitching there. I do have some of the spots where people glitched. We do have the African penguin habitat. Really in love with that one. It's one of the latest things I did in the zoo. Then we've got the gorillas here in their gorilla area. Lovely habitat. I think this entire reverb of this area was just so badly needed, and it's so much better also with the giraffes. We'll fly over there in a bit. Our little chapel that remained where it used to be. It's one of the sites that have been in the national park beforehand. Then we've got the Beaver Creeks, where the beavers living, and this is again implied to be like a real area. We've got reindeers. This whole area has been done by Haribo. I still love the Lodge Town. Lodge Town is absolutely amazing. It looks fantastic, and the lodges in general look just beautiful. The reindeer habitat is cool, and it just shows how he absolutely lovely tied in the idea of the Lodge Town. Then we move over to the koala habitat, which maybe This is one of the things that caused most of my headaches because they never climbed for me. As you can see, they were on the ground again. This is just beyond broken. I've never seen them climbing in here anyways. I think it's just tied to Yosemite now that koalas can't climb. It's the special Yosemite koala. Our kangaroos over here hopping around, and as we fly over here into what in fact is the giraffe area, and look at that house, and I love that. This house is also inspired by a zoo where there is like a little raised plateau in there, so people can actually feed the giraffes on eye level, which is super cool. And flying around, you have many different sidelines, and you can actually then go into the swamp area. Again, one of the later additions to the zoo. I'm still a big fan of, and you will see now flying through here, it looks just absolutely stunning. I love it. It was a pain to build because performance, as I said, is not as great anymore. But I think it was really worth it because it gives away a bit more of the beauty of Yosemite, and it just looks super good. And yeah, just really having this little trail that goes through here. You can see the animals in their natural environment, and then once you're at the end, there's like a little shelter for them in case they need it. And then we fly out of here towards the big cat area, where, as I said, everything will end up, but we will have a little glimpse of what is in here. So to the right hand side, you'll get a quite little catch of the lynx habitat. This is the lynx habitat at the end of the day. It used to be something else again, but now it's the lynx habitat with our little Halloween special we had, flying into the big cat house. On the left hand side there is the cheetah habitat. Not sure, there is no one home right now, but as we pass by, we are now going into the snow leopard and Siberian tiger habitat. No tiger diving, unfortunately, and also no snow leopard is in this lovely little area with its hammock over here. But if you watch closely, you'll spot one on the ground. Maybe this is Aliyah, we never know, but could be. And then we are flying to round off the whole thing in the lion area. This is our huge lion reserve, and yeah, I'm just madly in love with all of this. I'm just madly in love with the zoo. I'm madly in love with Yosemite Valley. I think it was one of the most beautiful projects I've ever had, and yeah, I still thank all of you for this journey we had, and I am absolutely happy that we all spent this time together. And that's all of it for today. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, have a good time and goodbye.